Don Lemon versus Nicki Minaj. Well, that wasn't on my bingo card for this week. However, that is what seems to be playing out since yesterday after Nicki Minaj took some shots at Don Lemon. Then he responded, and he responded again today.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So yesterday, all hell broke loose when it comes to drama between Nicki Minaj and Don Lemon. We didn't get a chance to talk about it because we were busy covering so many other stories, including, if you missed it, our video on Brooklyn Beckham, David and Victoria Beckham's son, basically saying he is done trying to reconcile with his family, exposing some of the things that they've been doing to him and his wife. So if you missed that, be sure to check out that video. But Nicki Minaj went on her social media yesterday and put a tweet in all caps saying, Don, C-sucking, we can't say the word here on YouTube, Lemon is disgusting. How dare you? I want that thug in jail. She says he would never do that to any other religion. Lock him up. And then she put a Chucky doll picture. So Don Lemon went on his social media to respond to her homophobic tweet. That is what he referred to as a homophobic tweet because, as you know, he's an openly gay man. So this is what Don said initially.
So people have been asking me about responding to Nicki Minaj's unhinged homophobic tweet about me. I usually don't respond to this stuff, but let me just say this. Nicki Minaj, stop talking about shit for which you know nothing about. This is you're out of your depth, by the way, and you are a homophobic bigot. You don't care about African Americans, and you're not an African American. From what I know, you are reportedly an undocumented citizen, so you should be deported under Donald Trump's rules. And the other thing is that your family members, you have one family member who is reportedly a sex offender, the other family member, your husband or whatever, a sex offender is your husband, and one of them is reportedly a pedophile. And you have nerve to talk about me and what you think that I do? Nicki Minaj, get a life. Stop being a pick-me. You should have put a pick-me doll on that damn tweet instead of a Chucky doll because you are nothing but a pick-me. And I choose not to pick you. And so should black people and so should gay people. Shouldn't buy your music. Clock that.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people, especially after her recent stop over there at the Turning Point of Assembly that they had, a lot of people, a lot of barbs have turned a corner. It took a lot, but a lot of barbs. But there's still a lot of barbs defending and finding any way to defend Nicki Minaj. But a lot of us have written her off at this particular point. We don't know if it's mental health. We don't know if it's something else. But Nicki, you have a lot more that you should be concerned about, which we will get to in just a second. So Don wasn't done because Don went on his socials to address Nicki Minaj. Then she decided to go on her X account and say this, retweeting what one other person says. Now that the entire media leg is posting that, quote, slur lie, man, Nicki can tear these people up. These be full-blown smear campaigns. These media outlets are careless and tacky. This is what one, I'm guessing, a barb said. So Nicki retweets it and posts another Chucky doll and says, laughing out loud, and I purposely wrote it that way because I knew that would be the only way to get the C-suckers to post about it. They would have all collectively ignored the despicable behavior displayed by Lemonhead. I'm glad they're angry. They're about to get angrier. Oh, Nicki, how the mighty have fallen. And look, some people said we've known this about Nicki. There are so many examples over the years. Why did it take so many people this long to see Nicki Minaj for who she really is? We're not going to get into whether something is homophobic or not homophobic, because I feel like we've been doing that even with the most recent comment that Michael Rappaport made on Traders. If you missed it, go Google schmoogle it. My thing is here is when you see a pattern of behavior and reckless language from someone, and when someone goes into a space that doesn't celebrate Black people, doesn't celebrate women, and definitely doesn't celebrate the LGBTQI plus community. You feel empowered to use this type of language. So that wasn't it. Don Lemon also stopped by TMZ to have a conversation about Nicki Minaj. So he had more to say about Nicki Minaj.
I normally don't respond to things like this, but F it. I'm going to do it this time. I think Nicki Minaj has made it very clear how she feels about African Americans in this country. I don't think she's one of them, obviously. And she should, under Trump's rules, she should be deported because I don't think, reportedly, that she is a legal citizen here. She is undocumented. And so
And look, I want to just say this. At this particular point, we have not verified that information, whether or not Nicki Minaj is an undocumented immigrant here. We do know, because she said it multiple times, that she was not born here in this country. She came here as a very little girl. She was born in Trinidad.
She has shown her disdain for African Americans. So why are you supporting her? Why are you buying her records? She's also supporting, I have lots of gay friends who love Nicki Minaj. Why are you supporting this homophobic, bigoted, ignorant woman? You should not be supporting her. Nicki Minaj, this is clearly out of her depth. She doesn't understand politics. She doesn't understand journalism. And I'm not surprised that she is weighing in on something that is beyond her capacity.
And that's the thing, too. Don Lemon, as you know, he's been a journalist for a very long time, worked at CNN. CNN fired him. He won in a lawsuit against CNN, made a lot of money. He does not need to work. Don Lemon has gone to YouTube and built up a YouTube channel of over 1 million subscribers in about a year. He's killing it on all socials. He's on the ground in Minnesota covering what's happening in this country when it comes to immigration and what's coming when it happens to do with what happened to Renee Good. He's on the ground. Don Lemon does not need to do this work. He's doing this work because he's passionate about this. He believes in what he does. And he believes that mainstream media is now just controlled. And there's a lot of information that we're not getting. So when he says she's out of her depth, this is what he means. He's like, he has a better understanding of what's really happening in this country than a lot of Americans, if we're going to be honest.
What I will say to her is, because she put a doll, I think she put the Chucky doll in there, a better symbol that should have been represented in that picture is a pick-me doll, because Nicki Minaj is a pick-me. She will do anything that is expedient for her politically. And again, she's ignorant. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's always weighing in on things that she doesn't know about. Nicki Minaj should just sit the down. And by the way, isn't she married to an alleged, and she has the nerve to say something disparaging about and something homophobic? I'm pretty sure.
When you have that around you, when you're married to someone like that, you would think someone would be very quiet, because that is always the go-to when anyone is having some sort of social media beef with Nicki Minaj. They go to that. They go to her brother. They go to her husband. We'll talk about the husband in a second.
That maybe that's part of the reason that she is cozying up to the Trump administration for some sort of leniency for her family members. And it's just very transparent. So Nicki Minaj, F off, stop being a homophobic bigot, and, get a life and some brains.
Ooh, okay. Not get a life and some brains. Well, here's the thing. So many people have said this multiple times, that she could not be seeking any sort of pardon for her husband or her brother, because those are state charges. However, based on how this country is going right now and all the rules that have been broken, it wouldn't shock me if Donald Trump was like, I am pardoning these individuals. It wouldn't shock me, okay? But I see that narrative out there that she's only doing this to prevent herself from being deported, even though there is a petition with over 90, almost 100,000 signatures to have Nicki Minaj deported from America. Okay. But Don Lemon wasn't done. Earlier today, he went live, and when you deal with the journalist, he brought up some of Nicki Minaj's past beefs in history and articles about her. Here's just a couple of things that he said during his morning live. So Don highlighted some stories. Rolling Stone, Nicki Minaj says Megan Thee Stallion wanted a Rihanna moment after being pow pow powed. Then he posted, Another Rolling Stone article, judge plans to force sale of Nicki Minaj's $20 million mansion to pay security guards judgment. We're going to get to that in a second. And then he posted her own tweet. My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testes became swollen. You guys remember this moment from during the pandemic. He pulled out all the different stories. He went down the list of things and people were in the comments defending Don. This did not go well for Nicki Minaj, especially when I saw the video, and one of the comments that I said in Don's video, I said, when the facts are the read. Like, you don't need to make anything up. You don't have to get witty. The facts of the situation or about the person are the read. The facts of the person is the shade. Damn, Nicki. Well, Nicki Minaj might have other issues because I know we've talked about this before, but Nicki Minaj has bigger fish to fry when it comes to her living situation. Her home could be sold. Well, XXL magazine reminds us on X that they said Nicki Minaj has until later this week to pay a $503,000 lawsuit judgment or risk losing her $20 million California mansion. Like, you have bigger fish to fry. And why hasn't this been resolved yet? Nicki Minaj's lawsuit drama has reached the 11th hour. She reportedly has yet to answer to a 2024 $500,000 lawsuit default judgment she was ordered to pay for a former security guard, Thomas Wiedemuller, who sued the rap star in 2022 over an alleged assault he suffered at the hands of Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, in 2019. Last November, Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Cindy Pinocchio said that she planned on enforcing the sale of the home to satisfy the judgment, but needed more time to see records showing how much of the $13 million mortgage Nicki has already paid since buying the home, which is now valued at $20 million in October of 2022. The judge scheduled to make a final ruling on Thursday, January 22nd, barring a last-minute payment or appeal from Minaj, according to court documents filed in a Los Angeles Superior Court. XL has reached out to Nicki Minaj's team and Thomas Wiedemuller's attorney for comment. You have bigger fish to fry than what's going on with Don Lemon. I don't know if this is a distraction from this story, but we're not distracted. We can do two things at the same time. And I hope your lawyer can too, because what is going on here? What is going on here? Guys, at some particular point, we just have to ignore people that want to distract us from everything else that's going on in this world, from the Greenland of it all, from the Venezuela of it all. Yesterday was Dr. King's birthday. What is going on? Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts and opinions on this beef between Nicki Minaj and Don Lemon. Beef that she started. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Don't forget, the Kempire After Dark live show returns to New York City on Friday, March 13th at the Green Room 42. There are meet and greet tickets available, but there are also live stream tickets available as well. So no matter where you are in the world, you can watch our live show, and you'll be able to keep that live show for a week after. But you have to buy your tickets today. Get your tickets. Ticket information will be available in the description. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now.